Hey everyone, this is Mike from EdgeNote 50 TV talking about boxing. Now this is a new review show that I'll be doing every Mondays along with a preview show that I'll be doing every Thursdays. So subscribe and hit that notification button if you want to get reminders every single week. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Usyk versus Tony Bellew. I'm going to be discussing the card, the fight, the atmosphere, how it all went down. So let's get it started. Now the crowd was awesome. The crowd was chanting people's names. It was singing. It was a fantastic atmosphere. So watching it, I thought, it was very good. Anybody watching it from overseas, looking at that event, would be, very excited. And I think it helps with the atmosphere of the fight. Now looking at the card. Now, is the card the best card? No, it's not. It's not the best card that we've ever seen. Many of the fights that I saw, I predicted correct. There's mainly one-sided fights. We understand the game, how it goes. If you have a main event, which is a pay-per-view, and most of the money is going to the main event fighters, then that means there's less money in the pot to go to the fighters down the card. And as a result of that, you're going to get a card like this. And it's not just Matchroom it happens to. It happens with Frank Warren's cards. It happens with top rank cards. It happens with PBC cards as well. It's all the same. The only way that you're going to get a stacked undercard is if the main event is not two big name stars. So, I understand how that went, but it was still interesting to see how these fighters get on, and we're going to get to it. So first off, you got Dave Allen versus Ariel Bracamonte. Now this fight was very entertaining as long as it lasted. Both of them were swinging shots back and forth. Allen with the more eye-catching shots, and both of them was very bloody. It was a very messy fight. In the end, Bracamonte retired on his stool, and Allen won the fight. Now, Dave Allen wasn't happy with his performance. He felt that he was unfit. He feels like he needs to go back to the drawing board again before he can fight. And I agree with him. Even though it was very entertaining for the casual fan, for the viewers to watch as a spectacle, looking at it from the TV. From a Dave Allen point of view, if he wants to fight someone like a Lucas Brown, which I don't think based on that performance he's ready for, he needs to do a much better performance than that. I was expecting him to blow him away after one round and show that he is levels above this guy. But by trading with this guy, he looked like a domestic level fighter. He doesn't even look nowhere near European level. I wouldn't even put him at British level. I mean, let's look at the comparison to other fighters around that level. You've got Daniel Dubois and you've got Nathan Gorman. I mean, can Dave Allen beat these guys? I don't think so. I think they'll both knock him out, to be honest with you, based on that performance. So I think he needs to go back to the drawing board. I think that Eddie Hearn needs to have a serious talk with this guy and say, look, get back in the gym and work on your fitness. Have a plan in place to move forward in your career. Because if not, you're just wasting everybody's time. Yes, you're a cool guy. Yes, you're entertaining, but we need more. We need to see you progressing and getting to that next stage. Anyways, that's enough about that. Look, he just needs to go back in the gym and just try to improve. So on to the next one. You got Josh Kelly versus Walter Castillo. This was just a one-sided domination. Josh Kelly was just landing with those straight rights all fight. As long as it lasted, he was hitting him whenever he wanted. It was a complete and utter domination. What this shows to me is that Josh Kelly needs to step up. The domestic level is not for him anymore. He has outgrown it, and he needs to go up to not elite, but the next level down now. So I think that's where he needs to go next. So Eddie Hearn is lining up a fight for him. David Avanesian is next for him on December the 8th on the Kelbrook undercard. This will be an interesting fight. David Avanesian, I'm brutalizing these names here. But this guy fought Kevin Peterson, took him to 12 rounds, so he's a world title challenger. This will be a good step up for him and see where he is at, if he's ready for that level. If he deals with this guy quick and easy, then yeah, I think he's going to be ready to step up more. So this is an interesting fight for him. Good to see where he goes from here. The next fight on the card was Ricky Burns versus Scotty Cardle. Burns was very comfortable in there. I don't think he actually exerted any energy. He just looked cool, calm and collected, just landing those right hands all night long. Scotty Cardle's defense was very, very open, very suspect. He was leaving his chin out. He was saying, chinny chin chin, here you go. Please hit me in the chin, please, pretty please. And Ricky Burns said, okay, here you go. Have some of those, have some of that, have some of that. and it was over. His right eye was battered, and he got the KO in the end. So, yeah, I mean, as I say, Ricky Burns, look, all credit to him. He went and fought at that level. I don't think he should be fighting at that level anymore. I think he is above that level, and I think he needs to go and fight some really tough fights now. I know he's 35 years of age. He's in the back end of his career, but I think that, he needs to go and challenge for a world title. I think he needs that motivation to try and challenge for a world title again. And that's my opinion on it. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about that fight. The less the better. So now you've got Anthony Crolla versus Daud Yordan. This fight was look, I'm not gonna lie, this fight was a ball fest. I was struggling to stay awake watching this fight. Crolla, he's a good come forward fighter. He has a high guard. He likes to get up close and gets his shots off. He likes to attack using his head. He used his head a lot in this fight. He dominated some of the rounds, and Yordan came back, so it was a good back and forth. And he won the fight on points, which makes him #1 mandatory for Lomachenko's belt. Now, does he have a chance against Lomachenko? Well, the quick answer to that is no. I don't think he personally has any chance of beating Lomachenko whatsoever. I mean, don't get me wrong, he probably has a 5%, 10% chance. If Lomachenko gets injured, then yes, Crolla has a chance. But other than that, I just think that Lomachenko is just too good. He's just an overall better fighter with overall better skills than what Crolla has. Now, Crolla has effort, he has energy, he'll be durable, he'll give it 100% in there. But overall, it's skills that pays the bills, guys. Skills pays the bills. So now we go to the main event, Usyk versus Bellew. How did that fight go down? Well, if you guys listened to my preview show last week, you would have probably heard that I predicted that Usyk was going to win, and he was going to win in the later rounds by hitting with more clearer, decisive shots. And the only way that Bellew was going to win is if Bellew attacks early, he goes for it early and, puts pressure on him, really makes Usyk uncomfortable, and don't let him get that jab off from the beginning. Now, it didn't go how I predicted it. It went how I predicted, as in Usyk won, but it didn't go how I predicted, as in how Bellew's tactics would be in the beginning of the fight. Now, Bellew, in the beginning of the fight, did very, very well, better than what I expected. He had good footwork. He was rotating around the ring, tried to keep away from Usyk's jab. He had great head movement. He was doing feints. He was even going southpaw at one point. I was like, what was going on? This is like what, he's trying to be Sugar Ray Leonard or something? What was happening over there? But, he was performing very well. He performed very well in the early rounds. I had Bellew up by 2 rounds on the scorecards going into the 8th round, so it was a very good performance from Bellew up until that point. But it was just very difficult for him to keep that pace up for the whole 12 rounds. He was walking, pacing, movement, body movements. At his age, it was very difficult for him to keep that pace up, and Usyk got to him in the end. And I think that from round 5, that's when you start to see the turnaround. And ironically, in the beginning rounds, he was afraid of Bellew's power. But in round 5, that's when it changes. He needs to get more closer to Bellew so he can connect with his shots. And he thought, you know what? The only way I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to get hit. But I know that I can take his power. But then can he take my power? And that's when he started throwing his shots. And so when he started landing, that's when it started affecting Bellew. And it was more 50-50. Those ones I classed it as draws because he was connecting some very good shots as well as Bellew. But then in round 7, that's when it started changing because then he switched up and moved to the body. And then he started hitting with some body shots. And then that was kind of I think that's what got the wind out of Bellew's sails a little bit. And then he started tiring dramatically. And then in round 8, he didn't even have his hands up. His hand was down. I think he was just tired, exhausted. And he was just there for the taking at the end. Then it was a highlight reel moment, knockout. And that's what happened in the fight. There's no shame in it. Bellew, Usyk is a world-class operator. Many people in the UK know about this guy, but now they do know about him now. Bellew was a brave performance. It was a fantastic performance. I think up until those rounds, that was probably the best performance I've seen Bellew have in his career. I think he'll give any cruiserweight problems if he performed like that against other cruiserweights. So I think that, that was a very good performance, but I just think he fought the better guy, a technically better guy than him in the end. And where does Usyk go from here? Can he face one of the heavyweights? Personally, I don't think he's ready for Anthony Joshua, Wilder, or Tyson Fury right now. I think he can give Dillian Whyte a good fight. He'll beat Chisora. He can beat a lot of those B-level heavyweights. I can see him do that because he's got the skills to do that. Against the higher tier heavyweights, I don't think so. I just think they're going to be too big and too strong for him in the end. I don't think he can get away with doing that against someone like a AJ Fury, or even a Deontay Wilder. So that's just my opinion on the whole situation. Yeah, but overall, like to wish Bellew all the best. I think he's still going to be in boxing because he's very passionate about him. I think he'll be like a good commentator. It's still good to see him on TV. And he's made his money. He's got his health still. And I just like to wish him all the best for the future. So overall, was this event a success? Well, it wasn't a success because Bellew lost, but I think it was a success in regards to getting Usyk's name out there. And I think a lot of people in the UK now knows his name. So I think it's a success from that standpoint. And a lot of people will be more interested in seeing him versus AJ now. So yes, I think it was a success from that standpoint. So what do you guys think of the card? What do you guys think of the fight? Did you guys enjoy it? Was it entertaining? Do you think Usyk is ready for the heavyweights now? Do you think he should stay at cruiserweight? Leave your comments and opinions below. It'll always be good to hear what you have to say. I'll be posting more review shows and more preview shows every single week. So subscribe to my channel if you want to listen to more of what I have to say. Because anything about boxing, I like to talk about it.